Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. Hopefully, all of you have had a good day today. Ben and I have an interesting show for you. In hour two, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America.
What are you saying? I hear them calling in the mountains. Where's Dick DeBartolo?
It's not the last Wednesday of the month.
2 minutes until showtime.
He's on next Wednesday.
Very true. That was a snafu.
And then, of course, in the first hour, we're going to be talking to SparkGift. This is interesting. Allows you to send a stocks gift certificate without any paperwork. No long forms to fill out, no brokers to hire. You can start as low as like $20. This is very cool technology. So we're going to be Peggy Mango is here, the CEO of Spark. So we look forward to that. And
emphasizing this month's focus on financial awareness, financial, what have you. This story pertains very much to our monthly theme. So.
Right. And you can actually give fractional shares of stocks and index funds. We're going to talk about that.
1 minute until showtime.
All that cool stuff. All right, so sit back.
You too can own 1% of 1% of 1% of Microsoft.
Or Apple.
Or Apple.
Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll be starting in momentarily.
Oh, and new show notes. So yeah, check those out too.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
You had to think about that, huh?
Yeah, no, I forgot who I was. I had a moment of existential crisis, but thank you for holding my hand through that.
Anytime. Well, we have a terrific show, as always, planned for you this evening. Hopefully all of you had a good day today. And in the second hour of the show, we're going to have computer and technology news. That's brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. It's some interesting news stories planned. Okay, so we got that planned for you. Of course, 2 news tip bulletin reviews from Marty Winston, 1 in each hour. They always prove to be enlightening and entertaining. The other thing I want to draw to your attention is the Computer America website. It's always under construction, always something. Our webmeister, Aaron, has been busy.
He's been schmucking with it.
Yes. And if you go to the show notes now, you're going to see something completely different. It looks very, very nice. We're actually consolidating some of the things. Before, if you wanted to watch our Computer America live streaming video archives, you would have to go to a different page, and now no longer. Now they're actually there on the show notes. So here's what you do. Go to ComputerAmerica.com, click on the show notes button, and you'll see the show, and you'll see the streaming. You can watch the live Computer America video stream. That's right, because not only are we a radio show, but we also stream our live video on the internet, so you can watch it there. And it just makes things a lot easier to do. Now, if you have a comment or question for our guests, give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. That'll get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Click the chat/video button. You'll get a split screen. On the left-hand side there, you'll see the entry form for our chat room. Just put in a username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the connect button, and your browser will move you right into the chat room. And also sharing that same page is our live Computer America video stream. It just starts up automatically, and you can watch your show. Sometimes you can see, you can always see me, myself, and you can see Ben. Sometimes you can see the guests. Sometimes you can see video demonstrations of the products that we're talking about. We have this share screen ability from Google Hangouts, so you can actually see what's on our screen or the guest screen.
Should be utilizing that a lot more in the coming future, so near future.
Yes, we are. We're making some additional changes that's going to make that even more prevalent. So. And make it easier. So we're just continue to improve. We revamp the Computer America website now like once every 2 years. I think it's going on, and so we're really moving into it. So anyhow, that's how you get in touch with us. And anything else you want to mention before I bring our first hour guest on, Ben?
No, only that in the show notes you might want to, check out on the show notes. Check out the title of the show notes. That's I had to pay a lot of money for that, so pay special attention to that.
Yes, and the scrawly handwriting is actually Ben's handwriting.
I don't know about that, but the order is significant.
Yes, it is. Okay. 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 Well, let's get to it. Our first hour guest. Many people don't have a savings or investment account. Traditional financial firms can make investing complicated. That's one big reason. I mean, who do you turn to? Well, evidently, our guest tonight, Spark, makes investing simple so that young investors, newbies, whatever, can learn the value of investing early, and experienced investors can receive gifts that grow their portfolio. You can send a stock gift certificate under a minute. I mean, there's no need to fill out long forms, sign papers, hire a broker, mail checks, none of that. You choose a stock or fund and pay. That's it. Spark creates a gift certificate with your choice of stock and fund and delivers it to the recipient. It only takes a minute to give an investment that can last a lifetime. Isn't that nice? And you can start gifting stock for as low as $20. Now, here to explain in more detail is the CEO of Spark, Peggy Mango. Peggy, welcome into the Computer America Show. How are you?
I'm great, Craig. Thanks for having me.
So this is kind of cool. One of the things that we're doing this month is from technology from a financial point of view, and this is certainly right. So. Why don't you tell us? I mean, I kind of introduced what it's about, but why don't you tell our listeners what Spark Gift is actually all about? That's what you call it, Spark Gift, right?
Spark Gift, yep. So you did a great job explaining it. Spark Gift makes it easy to give an investment as a gift, right? So, and Craig, I don't know if you remember, but when I was growing up, for graduation, for birthdays, for religious holidays, I used to receive U.S. savings bonds. Did you ever receive those?
All the time. I had stacks and stacks of them. I remember getting them as a little kid, and they had the different bonds, and then you would wait till they would mature, and then you cash them in. Yes, absolutely, I do remember that.
Exactly. Myself and my co-founders do as well, and we are at a point in our life where we are going to, weddings, we're going to baptisms and new babies, and things are happening, and the last thing I really want to do is to buy another gift card, right? Like for me and for, a lot of people that I know, they want to give something that they believe is more meaningful and will last a long time and will help this person in the future. And savings bonds aren't a real viable option anymore.
Really? Why not? I mean, I mean, they were like, was it the
Because we don't know if the U.S. government's going to be around much longer. That's not as safe a bet.
Well, there's two reasons. So the first reason is that you used to be able to get them at any local bank, and you could buy them, you could stick them in the envelope, and you can hand them over for an occasion. You can mail them.
Yeah.
They were transferable, right?
Mhm.
And that laws changed so that you could no longer buy them at your local bank or redeem them. The only place you could buy them is the Treasury Direct website, and that was, I think, a few years ago that happened.
Wow.
And once they moved to the website, you had to have all kinds of information about the receiver in order to actually give them this type of gift. Like they had to have an account set up, and then you had to wait 5 days after you bought it in order to transfer it as a gift.
Well, why would they do that? I mean, used to be there was a Series E bond, and there was a Series, I think, H bond, and they had different ways of maturing. But why would the government go out of its way to make things so more difficult?
Exactly. I'm not sure. I mean, I think part of it was a cost cutting because they were going digital. But once they went digital, it required a lot more. It involved a lot more friction that made it much harder for people to buy. And consequently, people stopped buying them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think they shot themselves in the foot. It sounds like to me. But okay, all right. And you make a good point. I mean, you don't want. I remember the days too when you would you'd take cash and you'd give that. You take the $100 bill or something, put it in a little windowed envelope, and you'd see Benjamin Franklin.
You're dating yourself.
Yes,
Cash? What?
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin, and you would give that. But that would make it. But giving cash is sort of says that you didn't
I don't know you well enough. Here's something. Go get yourself something nice.
Yeah, you don't put much thought or effort into it, I guess. And yeah, it's nice, but I don't think it's really as acceptable as it was maybe years and years ago. Now we have gift cards. There are gift cards out there. You can give somebody a gift card, for a Starbucks or for a TJ Maxx or something, or you can buy a gift, Visa card or MasterCard, so that it allows them to spend it anywhere they want. So there is that. But obviously there's still a gap.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to fill now here?
That's exactly right. There is definitely a gap for a gift that you know that is going to be invested, right? So even if I give you a check or I give you cash in an envelope and I say this is for, your son's college education or this is for your future, like I don't know whatever happens to that. I don't know if that money ever gets into the account. I don't know if it actually gets invested. And so, our company was created to actually fill that gap.
Or the parents keep it, or the kid buys bubble gum with it or something.
Right.
Okay, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, so in order to get around that, what is it that you're offering consumers?
Sure. So we make it easy to give an investment. So we offer stocks and ETFs. We offer over 6,000 of them. And the way it works is, you explained a little bit about this earlier, is the gifter actually just chooses the amount, chooses the stock or the index fund, tells us who it's for, and then pay and send. Then an email is created with a digital gift certificate that says, "Congratulations, Craig has given you $50 to be invested in a Vanguard Total Market ETF."
Okay.
And the receiver then clicks through, and they create a brokerage account all online, all through our site, and accept the gift. Once they accept the gift, we move the funds into the brokerage account for them and execute the trade, and then we let you know and the receiver know, "Congratulations, this person is now an investor."
Oh.
That's neat.
That is kind of neat. Yeah, exactly. Is it complicated to do, Peggy?
No, I mean, the giving a gift is extremely easy. It takes a few clicks. You don't have to make a lot of choices. And you alluded to this earlier. We support fractional shares, which is very important for this type of service because it makes an investment gift accessible, right? So if you only have, let's say you only have a budget, you want to spend $25 or $30 for this wedding gift, for example, or for this newborn gift, or just for nothing. You have a budget of $30. You can say, I want to give an investment gift of $30, and then I can choose the stock. So they could give you $30 of Apple or $30 of Google, and
Really?
those stocks are trading at 128 or 550, and we can give you a fraction of that share.
I didn't know you could do that. So in other words, you can buy it. So you can come off looking like the big spender, and say, look, I just bought you a share of that.
0.3 shares of Apple.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know.
People identify with the brands. It's funny, we make, like, we all know that it's good to invest in like index funds that represent the broad market. It's good for the long term. But for the entry level investor, for someone just getting started, and for someone giving a gift, it's often a little bit more exciting for them to choose a brand that might resonate with the receiver, right? Based on their personality or their interests. And so we found that the people are choosing stocks that they think the receiver would enjoy owning.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and you can do that for a small amount of money. I mean, like
Right.
$25, $30, and you can buy, and you can say, what did you get? So and so. Well, I bought him some stock in Apple. You don't have to say what. Yeah, you have to just buy some stock in Apple. Really? You bought him stock in? Yeah. Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, if you can tell, Craig's a pretty big fan of Apple,
Well,
but it makes sense that especially if you just wanted to do $50 or $100, and just like you said, I think it's Apple. It's at about $500 a share right now. I mean, it's to say it's prohibitive to begin with is an exaggeration, but if they can just get in even with just a little bit, I mean that's gonna hopefully spark their interest. And I mean, you guys are talking about when you were growing up. I just grew up tomorrow. I don't know, sometime soon. And they and like stocks never really played a big part in my personal finance education. Bonds never, that kind of thing. Like the most education that I got really was how to use a bank account and how not to spend more than you have. Like that's about it. But investing really is a huge gaping hole of education today.
It is. If it's okay that I jump in, Craig,
Sure.
we've looked at studies that tried to understand how to educate young people about investing and saving. And what we found is that a lot of these methods, like websites and books and classes, aren't always effective because people look for their financial advice from their parents and from their family, right? So we look at this as a tool. Like if you give this to your family member, if a parent gives it, if an aunt and uncle give it, or a grandparent gives this to their niece or nephew or their grandson or their child, it is a way to teach them about saving and investing, and teach them by actually having them participate, right? They're not reading a book.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a great way. I think it's a great way to, especially if they're younger, to kind of, then the parents kind of explain to them what it is that they just got from Uncle Ed or
Right.
or Aunt, whatever. They said, look, because I remember when I got a bond. I mean, I think I got my first bond. I think when I turned 13, and I said, and I didn't know what that was. So my folks kind of explained it to me because it wasn't cash.
Right.
It looked like cash, but it wasn't cash. I knew what a dollar bill looked like, or it wasn't that. It was this really big thing that looked like a large dollar bill. And so you learned a little bit about it. So I guess
I'm hoping that one day there's going to be proficient enough 8-year-olds in my future that are going to say, oh yeah, my uncle just gave me a stock certificate for tea, but the Asian market is just so weak right now. I don't know what to do with this thing. It's just of no use. Like that's what I want.
Now is it up? I mean, when you give this, are you going to, and you're giving it to like a 12-year-old or something? I assume that I guess you can say, well, the parents are going to explain to what it is, or do the parents have to?
Can the kids fill out the form, or is that just an over 18 kind of thing?
Great question. So For a minor, anyone under 18, we would require that you provide the parent's name and email address as well, and then the parents would fill out the brokerage form as the custodian for the child, but it would be, or the minor, it would be the minor's account, right? So they reach maturity and it is their account. So yeah, so at that point it's up to the parents to kind of talk through what this is. What we're also rolling out is we're rolling out our app, and we are going to have a minor view, right? A view only ability for minors, so that they, like, minors can't trade, but it's legally their account. So we want to give them the ability to actually see how it's doing, right? And learn a little bit about the investments that they have. So we're actually excited about that, because we think young people are, they should learn about this stuff. It's not that scary, and we think we can help them understand it.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, they're hearing all this stuff in the news, and now they can kind of feel part of it. And if they own stock in the company, they can go around and say, "Hey, I own stock in that," and then everybody, all their peers will look at them strange and say, "How do you do that?" But no, I definitely different. Now, did you come up? Who came up with the idea to do this, Peggy?
So this has been something that's a pain point for myself for a long time, and I got together with one of my former coworkers who's a co-founder, Tia Gao, and we were talking about this problem, and it was also a problem for her, and then our third co-founder, Bob Hagler. So it was a common problem, and we got together, we started talking about how we could create a product to fill what we thought this was an unmet need.
Okay.
And have you, when you first started telling people that we have this idea about kind of sharing stocks instead of just cash or gift cards or what have you, were they incredulous, or like there's no way you can dumb that down to the point where it's just as easy as sending a gift card?
Right. So everyone always loves the idea, right? Like the idea from the first time we started sharing it with friends and family, and random people that we would meet at cafes and things like that. They were like, "That's great. I love that. I don't want to give, in every occasion, I don't want to give another gift card. I give gifts to people that don't need any more toys, or they don't need more things, right? I want to give them something for their future. It's actually a very meaningful gift. But the devil is in the details, right? So the devil is in the details. And if you look at a brokerage account opening form, like a paper one today, some of it is not necessary, but a lot of it is required for different regulations surrounding a financial firm that needs to understand the customers that they have. So what we strive for, and what our application strives to do, is make that account opening process as seamless and as easy as possible, so that our customers can get through it quickly and then become owners. And they don't have to fill out anything. It's all online today. It happens in real time. But that is the devil is in the details. You're right.
Exactly. Well, okay. So you got this great idea, and again, now it's called Spark Gift. I mean,
yes.
Spark is the company, but it's called a Spark Gift. That's what.
Yes.
Okay. And who would you say the target demographic for a Spark Gift is?
Sure. So when we look at the target demographic, we look at two sides. So we look at the target gifters, and the target gifters are those people that value saving and investing, that want to teach saving and investing, or they value, or they have special needs surrounding the person that they're giving to, right? Like they want to help them save for their future. They want to help them save for college. Our target receivers are minors and their parents, right? Saving for the future, and young adults / millennials, right? I don't know, like, Ben, you're probably a millennial. I've read lots of news about millennials aren't saving. They don't want to touch the stock market. We think this could be a great way for the people that care about them, the people in their life, to be like, okay, you know what? Let's just get started. There's $100.
I think unfortunately you're kind of going up against what's been in the news for the past at this rate 7 years now. No no offense to all this, but they're kind of disillusioned. Yeah, I'm technically I was born in '91, so probably a little early to be a millennial, but pretty close. And like they're probably disillusioned, that kind of thing. And I'm sure the complexity of it, and we hear about it on the news all the time, but even the news does a horrible job of dumbing it down so the average person can see what it is. But I think when you talk about the benefits of owning stock and investing in stocks, it just like their eyes just kind of glaze over because they've seen the the downside of investing in stocks and that kind of thing, which to some, like, I understand why they think it, but at the same time, it's been working for 100+ years, and I think it's still going to work. It's just kind of conquering that whole "this is too complex, this is too hard to get into" is going to be the next step.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that's why, like, we're excited about the fractional shares, right? Like, a lot of these gift givers, they would have given a $50 gift card anyway. So why not give a $50 investment? And you know what? If it goes down a little bit, that's okay. Like, hopefully this is something that they keep over time so they can start to understand kind of the ebb and flow of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when you give a gift card, okay, you buy a $50 Starbucks. I mean, how much coffee can you possibly drink? But
I was give a gift card, and I say don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, exactly, and then done. And when it's done, it's done. And it's forgotten. But I remember with bonds, even with bonds, I mean, I would follow it along, and I got involved with it. And I think the idea is the same thing here. I mean, they can, when they hear whatever company they're invested, that they get the fractional share of Apple, whatever it is, then they kind of follow along and kind of keep tabs, and they can check their iPhone because you can follow the stock market on your smartphones, and now that they have a vested interest in it, it's like maybe the ultimate game.
I'm sorry. Are fractional shares something unique to you guys, or is it something that you're just kind of leveraging to get people into it?
Great question. So we work with a partner brokerage that supports fractional shares. There's not that many out there that do, and what's interesting is the brokers that we partnered with, Folio Institutional, they have been supporting fractional shares for a long time, but for different reasons. They were supporting fractional shares so that their investment advisor clients could create very sophisticated asset allocation plans and have those plans applied all the way down to the end dollar and the end cent for their for their large institutional clients. So what we did is we thought, well, they have this technology where they can support fractional shares. What if we use this technology in order for smaller investors or small dollar investors to gain access to some of these stocks that cost $500 or over $100? So I think that we're using fractional shares in a very different way.
But how did you go about it? I mean, I'm trying to envision the phone call, the fly on the wall. I mean, you call the company and say, hey, we'd like to, buy fractional shares and work out an arrangement with you, and you had to kind of explain it to them. I mean, how was the idea received by them? Did they like it immediately, or you had to convince them? I mean, how did it go?
Well, it's actually a great question. It's very interesting because Folio Institutional, they are a great partner, and I connected with them on a mission level, right? Mm-hmm. They said, they also have a mission to make financial products accessible. Mm-hmm. And so we talked at length about like our idea and what we wanted to do and how they could help us and how we could partner. And they said this really aligns with, our mission. There's challenges with small accounts, right? Mm-hmm. And but I think the trend is in our favor. So there's more and more technology that's coming to financial services, bringing the costs down. So traditionally, if you looked, if you wanted to go open an account, and there's lots of different account types, a lot of these account types have account minimums. So you would have to have maybe $500 or $1,000 or for some firms even $5,000,
Sure.
right? So a lot of that, like through technology, through better processes, a lot of that, those barriers to entry is coming down. So this is the right time for a company like SparkGift to kind of take advantage of, the fractional share technology, and then also what's happening in the industry surrounding, bringing costs down and making products more accessible.
Well, I think it's a very interesting idea. I mean, now I don't know if I would buy stock in McDonald's, for example, because what's going, but
They're doing wonderfully. They just open up like crazy new markets. What are you talking about? They're great.
I heard they were in trouble. They were in trouble. But you see, that's the thing. You see, if you get involved with this stuff, you might only have like someone bought it for you, but you can kind of like get into it, because now you have a vested interest, all $25 of it. But you do, you have a vested interest. Someone's giving it, and I could see how this could be kind of a learning experience. I think this is a terrific idea. Now, I'll tell you what, we're coming close to the bottom of the hour here, but we'll kind of start talking about what are the most popular investments that customers are choosing to give. What would you say that is?
Well, that was fascinating to us because we thought it would be Apple, and it's funny because we present Apple as it is one of our most popular, but our actual most popular gift given is Tesla.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me in the least. I mean, they're all in the news. They're talking about.
They're very popular.
Extremely popular. And now they're talking about even having self-driving cars and cars that update. The electric vehicles. I mean, that's. I'm not
if there was ever a sexy stock, it would be Tesla.
Tesla. I agree. All right, I'll tell you what the music means, Peggy. We have to go on a quick break here, and then we'll continue on. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, on a whole bunch of other networks, the TuneIn Radio Network. Ben and I are talking to Peggy Mango. She is the CEO of Spark. It is our financial technology show tonight. We've got lots more coming up. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review as well. We'll be right back.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
I see you. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the VTech Connect-to-Cell cordless phone. The styling of the VTech LS6191-17 Connect-to-Cell cordless answering system with caller ID, call waiting. That entire long name won't tell you why I like this a lot. Is a modernistic salute to the desk phones of the 1950s, absent the coiled cord. The DECT 6 handset cradles much like the classics, but in this case it charges in its cradle. Both handset and base offer speakerphone, caller ID, and other cool functions. You can also pair it with your mobile to make both kinds of calls from one place. This is extra handy if you have to put your mobile somewhere without a comfortable seat, just to have enough bars to have service. Available Android or BlackBerry apps help you import up to 200 contacts. You can pick a ringtone and volume, configure the answering system, or turn it off, which we like, and more. Bottom line, while the feature set, specs, and performance of the VTech Connect-to-Cell LS6191-17 cordless phone may justify your interest, its looks are what will drive you to wanting to own one. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes here past the hour, and we are talking to Peggy Mango here, who is the CEO of SparkGift, and we're talking about sending stocks in lieu of gift cards, cash, puppies, what have you.
Puppy.
Whatever you want to send someone. Hey, why not a stock certificate? And we're just kind of getting into the middle of it, where we talk about how fractional shares and how that's really letting you guys do what it is that you're doing, and that's kind of a new and different kind of way to trade. What do you think that people should be? Because I'm going to kind of focus on how you're going to be giving this to maybe a recent high school graduate, recent college graduate, someone who is relatively young and inexperienced in trading, trading in stocks and that kind of thing. Do you think that they should kind of use this account? And by the way, also, can they use your account to kind of sell their stock and cash out, or can they sell and invest in a different stock that they like instead? Like, can they do actual trading on this, or is it just kind of here's your stock, watch it go?
Yeah. So like our product's not designed for a rapid fire trader, right? Fractional shares, they trade in blocks. So they trade twice a day. They're all submitted and the trades are executed. So when someone has a SparkGift account, they can sell and they could reinvest in something else, and they can withdraw. We encourage them, like we view this account as more of a long-term account, and so do the gifters. So we're going to be encouraging them to have a more buy and hold or invest and hold, but we're not going to restrict them if they want to withdraw, and we're definitely not going to restrict them if they want to change their investments to something else. And we anticipate that recipients will come in and they will receive, they'll receive some brands that they like, but over time they'll learn more, and we'll help them to learn more, and then we could help them actually apply an asset allocation to their account, so that once it becomes larger, it can be more of a balanced portfolio and less of a bunch of brands that they've just received.
I was going to get kind of curious about what is the growing potential of this? Is it just a simple account that lets you shows you your stock, the change over time and that kind of thing, or could the same account that they're people are sending stocks to, could they put their own money in eventually? Could they turn it really into their own portfolio from that one account?
Exactly. That is our vision, that this becomes their investment/savings account, right? This is where they put investments that they want to hold for the long term, and we will be making functionality available so that they can add their own funds, or they could sign up to have funds contributed on a monthly basis, for example, even if it's just $20, but in order to kind of start to build that account up, yeah, I mean, we absolutely believe this could be the savings account for many, many people.
Peggy, I remember that when you had your stock, I mean, you had a stockbroker, and this is the person who made a living by, doing what they do, and every time you would contact your broker to buy something or sell something, they get a little piece of the action. I mean, there was a commission fee
Right.
that you'd have to broker fees. Now, I know some of the more modern services, like some E-Trade or some of them out there, they let you manage your own account, and you're not paying broker fees, or at least not as much. If I do some trading in Spark, am I going to be paying broker fees? What kind of overhead am I looking at with Spark?
Right. So you are not going to be paying any commissions on any trades. So the only fees that we charge for the receiver is, like, our mission is to help them actually grow this account from that $50 that they get into larger amounts. So we don't charge anything for accounts under $5,000. If we're able to help them grow that account to over $5,000, then we charge them on an annual basis of 45 basis points.
Okay.
And we charge no trading commissions.
So you're making your money how? How does
So we make our money if we're able to help these customers get their accounts so that they're large enough, so that we then charge assets under management, so 45 basis points a year.
Got it.
But we don't charge, the idea is we don't want to create a barrier to entry, and we don't want to have people to have to worry about fees when they're just getting started.
Right. I mean, because you can get buried in fees, and that can be very disheartening, I would think.
Well, and it's also something more that they have to think about, like, oh, should I do this? Should I do this? Like, we want to just get started, get that first $100 invested, and then, once they've built it up, then they can decide, is Spark Gift giving them enough value? If it's not, they can take their money somewhere else. But we're hoping that we are able to deliver enough value to justify any fees that we will charge.
Who do you see as your competitor then? I mean, do you look at E-Trade or some of these other online brokerage firms out there? I mean, do you look at them as competitors, or if not, is there a competitor to what it is you're doing, or are you?
We think our competitor is the traditional savings account, actually, because savings accounts, like when I grew up, I had a savings account at a local bank, and they paid much more interest than they do today. But today they pay 0.1%. So we're saying, like, this should be your savings account. We don't think people should come to us if they're going to do all this rapid trading. It's not like a large-scale trading platform. It's more of a buy and hold and save for your future. But in order to get some returns, you got to invest.
Yeah, I remember my first. My parents got me a savings account. They bought me a little passbook. They put $10 in it, and I got started that way. And it was the bank was right down the block, and I can go there and I could check it. I mean, look how things have changed. But it's the motivation behind all of this is still the same, right?
Right.
And I think the tools that we're using are different, but I think the motivation. I mean, I remember when I went to boarding school, I had to learn how to use a checkbook. I mean, who uses checkbook? Some people in the grocery lines, in the express line, will still pull out a checkbook, and my eyes start to bleed from the sockets when they do that, because you have to sit there and wait for them to write a check out. But yes, I say get a debit card. Can't stand it. But be that it as it may, still I think that I think the motivation is the same. I mean, would you not agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And people, I mean, even parents aren't creating savings accounts for their kids today because they don't pay any interest. So they're like, oh, what's the point? I'll just put it in this envelope in a drawer, or I'll just I'll write it down that you have mommy's savings account, right? But why not actually, even if you don't want to buy, like, you could use our platform to buy an exchange traded index fund of bonds. At least that'll get you 2%, right? It's better than 0.1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so tell us about you had an experience at Google, and what was that all about, and how did that help you?
Sure. So before I left Google, before I started this company, I worked at Google, and I worked in Google Wallet. So very much a consumer-facing financial services product.
Sure.
And what I learned from that role is if you don't make that experience extremely convenient and easy, you are not going to get adoption. So that has been really important. My co-founder also worked at Google Wallet, and so that has been kind of a driving force for us, that like we do so much user testing, like, is this easy? Is this simple? What step can we eliminate? And we're constantly working on that, because that's the key to adoption, I believe.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What do you find? What are people starting on? Are they starting, small? Are they being cautious with SparkGift? Are they going with little tiny amounts, or I mean, how much are people typically spending when they start?
Sure. That's interesting. If it's press or someone that's checking us out, it's $20, $25. Our real customers, it's very interesting. We expected a lot of the gifts to be occasion-based, right? To be a birthday, and some of them are. They're birthdays, or they're occasion-based, or they're for this or for that. But what we are seeing a lot of are gifts to get people started investing. So I'll give you two examples. One, we had a family a couple weeks ago. We had a family. It was like a grandma and an aunt. They were giving a gift to one of the family members, saying, "This is great. You're going to start investing, and you can tell people that this is the kind of gift that you want for your birthdays and occasions." Mm-hmm. And then a couple days later, we saw 5 other people in that family either add to the account or give to the other people within the family. And they were not occasion-based. So it wasn't anyone's birthday. They were just saying, "Hey, this is cool, and I'm going to help you get started, and you can watch your investments grow." And so that's been a big learning for us, that just giving people the ability to help someone else get started is enough for them to use it. They don't need to wait for a birthday or a holiday or whatnot.
Okay. All right. So it was kind of little unexpected.
A little unexpected, but in a good way.
Okay. So I mean,
this is the kind of gift that really makes sense of, that you really don't need an occasion for. I mean, it's it's not a puppy, and it's not someone's graduation. It's it's a lesson, but it can be kind of a good lesson, actually a very good lesson.
Well, yeah. Now, you mentioned people in the press. You said, well, people in the press start off with $20. Are you saying that people in the press are cheap?
Maybe they're cautious.
Right. People in the press. People are checking us out. Yeah, they'll start with $20. No, that's funny. I think people in the press. I'm not sure you can even. Well, some of them have conflicts, so they can't even own some of the brands, I think. But
well, if there's a conflict of interest, yes. If you want to remain editorially credible, that's true. Now, I see. So, what is Y Combinator?
Oh, so Y Combinator is a tech accelerator in the Bay Area that provides funding and resources and networking to help new companies like ourselves launch and grow. And we participated. Our company participated in that program this winter, and it just finished up about 3 weeks ago.
Did it help you in any way? Did you find it useful?
I did, and one of the most useful parts about that program is that they there's tons of details of focusing of creating a new company and building and technically and messaging and marketing and acquiring users. What they try to get you to focus on is build something that the users want, right? Like, forget all of the noise. Forget all of how are you going to make money and how is this going to work, and and talk to your users and say, and constantly ask yourself, are you building something that users want? And so that has helped us a lot because, we're going into an industry that that there's a lot of big players and there's a lot of regulation and there's a lot of questions like, oh, will users only use it on a birthday or Christmas? When will they use it? But when I talk to users, when me and Bob and Tia talk to users, they say, I would love to use this product. So that has been extremely motivating and helps us focus.
Okay. Do you, to your, I mean, one of the things with the broker is you would say, well, why am I using you? Well, you get my years of experience, and you can call me and ask me for advice, and or I'll make suggestions and recommendations. Of course, maybe what he's recommending is what he's pushing for the moment, but you never know this for sure. But supposedly you had someone in your corner with your broker. That's what you were paying him for, to get his insight and wisdom. Do you do any of that at Spark? I mean, do you people come to you and say, hey, well, I don't know what to get. Would you offer investment advice to your clients or not?
Yes. So we actually are an SEC registered investment advisor, and we will be rolling out. It will be like essentially more automated advice, and it will be really in a friendly manner. Like, would you like us to make suggestions, right? Because we know what our clientele is. It's younger, newer investors. So we will make suggestions like, would you like us to make a suggestion on a portfolio that would work for you? So yes, that is something that we will be rolling out.
Ben, do you want to say something? Or?
No, it's makes sense because they don't, they really don't know what they're getting. But I think at the same time, though, like they really don't need investment advice because I don't think anyone's going in there with $10,000 and saying, okay, make me money. Like they're just learning the ropes, though.
What would you do if you got a client like that? I got $10,000 to help make me money. I mean,
we have this great friends over on so and so building. You should go check them out.
Peggy, do you would envision that at all happening, or is that completely atypical to the kind of people you're appealing to?
No, I think over time. We will build clients that have large accounts, and we will be happy to help them and recommend an asset allocation and execute that asset allocation plan for them. Absolutely.
Oh. All right. So so what is your goal basically? What are you looking to become? Spark. I mean, what are you looking for Spark to become?
Sure. I mean, we're looking to become really the default first savings account that anyone creates, and they create it because grandma gave them $100 when they were 2 years old or 4 years old, or their mom created an account for them when they were born, right? So we want to grow with these customers, and over time, we will build our services with our customers, as they grow.
Okay. All right. Now, how long has Spark been around?
About 6 months.
Okay. Oh, so you're really brand spanking new then.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. How's it working out so far? How?
Is Google knocking on the door and say, "Come back, we miss you"?
No, it's going great. I mean, it's fascinating. Like we have customers. I mean, we're just learning so much. We have customers that are using this platform in ways that we never imagined. So we have one customer that is making investments every week to their daughter. They have a little bit extra money, they make an investment, and like I explained earlier, we have customers that are rallying around it with their family members, and some of those accounts are growing really fast. So it's going really, really well. I mean,
are you saying it's becoming a family affair? I mean, rather, because you always think of stock market and playing the market as basically a one-on-one kind of thing with you and your broker. Are you saying that it's becoming like the monopoly of 2015?
Well, not from a competitive, but like when you think about like families and how they transfer assets to one another in gifting today. And then you provide this other way where, you can still give gifts, you can still give like fun gifts, but what if some of the gifts went to this investment for these different people in their life, right? And then so families start to know, they know that, oh, there's this account that's already set up, so I'm going to give some of that this year and some of it next year, and there's an account for this other person. So like we're really just reinforcing those family transfers that happen today, and we're making it easier for those transfers to be maybe not as frivolous, but to be something a little bit more long term.
Okay. So where do you see yourself? Where do you see all this going? I mean, what's going to happen in the next 6 months? You mentioned an app, of course. I mean, what direction do you want to be taking the next 6 months or so?
Sure. So this year is very focused on really just acquiring users and getting the word out, making sure people know that this is an option. And as we move into it's April right now. So as we move in, throughout the summer you have graduation, you have summer weddings, then you get into the holiday. Like we really want to capitalize on holiday, and we want people to know during the holiday season, during the end of year season, end of year tax planning, that we exist and that you can actually make these types of gifts to the people in your life. So that's our huge focus for this year, is really on user acquisition and awareness.
Well, I hope you can get the word out. I have no idea how you're going to do that, but good luck with that.
Well, that's why I'm here. And Ben, you're going to spread the word for me too, I think.
Yeah, no. Round the water cooler tomorrow. I got you. Don't worry about it. It'll be booming within a month.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Peggy, it sounds like a really interesting idea spark that you got, and we wish you the best of luck with it, and I'm sure you're going to do extremely well. And maybe we'll have you back in 6 months or and see how things are coming along, especially for the holiday seasons. It might be good to let people know that you're out there, that you have this to offer as an alternative to giving cash or a gift card or some other more traditional means of gifting. And I'm sure that you're going to find a lot of interest. I think you can do extremely well with this.
I would love to come back. Thank you, Craig.
Anything else you want to let our listeners know before we say goodnight?
Sure. I mean, I would just wrap with that. The time-tested financial advice is just to start early, right? Just to start with a little bit. Especially for young people, if you just start with a little bit, it can really help you pay off. It can really pay off for you in the end. So.
Okay. Well, again, if you want to check it out, you can go to the sparkgift.com. That's the website. Or you can head over to computeramerica.com and click on our show notes page, our brand new show notes page, and you can now see, you'll see in the first hour, you'll see the Peggy's name up there, CEO of SparkGift, and the SparkGift is actually linkable. You just click on it, and it'll actually take you to the SparkGift website. And that stays up for all time. So if you're listening to the show later, you're time shifting it, or you're downloading it and listening to it later on, as so many of you do, you can go right to the show notes page, and we have everything there waiting for you to check it out. Peggy, thank you so much for being with us on tonight's show. It was very illuminating.
Oh, thank you, Craig and Ben, for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you. Take care. Good night. Best of luck.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So there you go. SparkGift. Okay.
I like it.
I do too. I think it's a sign of the times.
I remember having I've only received one bond, and that came with a long drawn out explanation of what bonds were, how they're just as good as cash, yada yada yada. It was so boring, but I think stocks don't fall under that same. They're not as boring.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think all kids are the same way. I remember when I was bar mitzvahed. I'm a bar mitzvah, 13 years old. I was getting bonds, and I don't know what they were. I mean, I was going. People were giving me other gifts. I wanted things I could play with. Or even cash. But bonds, I had no. But my folks said, no, you're gonna put it. When you turn 21 or this, it'll grow. It'll be and you get dividends, and depending what kind of bond they got you. So it was a sort of a learning experience. But I think those particular days with those types of investments, as you heard, I think are pretty much gone. But I think something like SparkGift certainly preserves the tradition, and just a different form. Okay, well, let's see. We've got about another couple of minutes before we go into our news portion in the second hour of the show. Let me just remind you to head over to ComputerAmerica.com and check out all the new exciting stuff that's happening there. That's right. When you click on the show notes button now, you'll see our brand new show notes. It's really interesting. You can actually you can kind of tune into the live video stream on the show notes page when it is live. You can watch it, and I'm not sure now. I don't want to do it because I'm going to get echoes. I'm seeing a SparkGIF right at there right now. I don't want to click on it because I don't know if it's going to start from the beginning or it's going to go to the live.
Oh no, it's live. It's the same thing that we have in our lounge right now, but it's not auto starting.
Not auto starting. Okay. But then
because that would get hairy when you get 10 different videos starting at once.
That's true. But then when you when the show is over, then it becomes part of the archive, and then you can hear it. But
And honestly, I like it as a way to kind of keep track of it and find it for later usage, because yes, you can go to our YouTube page and you can kind of sort by date and that kind of thing. But I think just having it embedded right there in the show notes, where you can kind of look up the particular date or title of the company or anything else, I think that makes it just as easy, if not easier.
Yeah, it's definitely now. Oh, I just realized I gotta check. I do have to edit it because it still says the GizWiz, so I'm gonna fix that during.
Yeah, I was gonna tell everyone that Mr. Dick Bartolo is unfortunately not gonna be with us tonight. It's not the last one today.
No, we got to do next hour. I mean next week.
Like, did you call him and he was like, "Whoa, what? No, no."
He actually sent me an email because he saw it got sent out to him in the blast, and then he says, "What do you mean tonight? It's not tonight. It's next week." And I went, "Yeah." I said, "Right, we had a calendar glitch, as these things do happen." And
yes, they do.
Yes, they do. And anyway, we've got now. What are some of the stories that are coming up?
Some of the stories. Sure. Let's see. We have a new service from Google. Yes, Google, they tend to enter new marketplaces and they tend to shake things up. Think of their Google Fiber, think of their Google self-driving cars, think of their Google, whatever Google does, they make a big impact. They're coming out with a new wireless carrier service that's going to potentially, hopefully, shake up the your cell phone carriers. And they want to be not only your operating system with the Android operating system, but they also want to be your carrier, letting you go through them to not just cell phone service, because they're going to offer that, but also a new way to consume data, because no longer do you buy
Live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@ComputerAmerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And I'm sorry about that. I thought you heard
things happen.
Yeah, they do.
No, when I talk, I can't hear the music at all.
Oh, that's what it is. I thought you were hearing the music. I couldn't figure out why. Okay. Well, by the way, I changed it. If you go to our show notes page now, it no longer says the GizWiz. It says news. So that we fixed that. So, but we just had the Spark. We just had Spark gift on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And very interesting. Peggy, and she, the CEO of the company, talking about what they do, and I think you'll find it very interesting. And again, you go to our show notes page. You don't have to go to our video streaming, our YouTube page. You can just go to our show notes page. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to consolidate and get everything so you don't have to go searching for everything. You go to our show notes page and you can see the show of the day or the past shows, and then you don't have to go somewhere else to get the video. I mean, it's right there. So everything is consolidated. Again, thanks to Aaron, our our webmeister, who is really doing a terrific job for this. And Ben, you're involved with it too, right? You give him suggestions, right?
Yeah, but I don't do any work.
Okay, he's doing all the work to get this done. So, doing some nice work for us here.
But I enjoy not doing work, so this works out nicely for me.
Okay. So anyhow, you can check it all out at our show notes page at computeramerica.com, and that's just some of the new stuff that's right around the corner that we're going to be introducing here on Computer America. Okay. Well, then that said, I guess we have some interesting news stories we're going to do. Just let me mention real quickly that our computer contests are up also. If you go to our contest page, it's under the Interact menu. Just go to Enter Contests. You'll see our Logitech contests. And if you click that Register button, you'll see the 3 great prizes that we're giving away at Logitech. The third place prize is the Logitech H7 Webcam C310, valued at $50. The second place prize is the Logitech G400S optical gaming mouse, valued at $60. And the grand prize, the Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speaker, valued at $70. And you get to pick the color to it. It comes in 4 different colors. And we have links to all the products so you can see them. And on that very same page is the official Computer America contest entry form. It's right there. You don't have to do anything more. Just put in what it asks for: your name, email address, phone, comments if you like. Hit the submit button, and that's it. You're registered to win. And again, everything that you tell us is completely confidential. We sell this information to no one. We do not sell it. We don't.
Tried. No one wants it.
However, it's completely confidential, except if you win. Then we'll give your contact info to Logitech so they can mail you your prize. But you deal with Logitech. We just pass it over to them, and then you deal with them directly. And this contest now, it's started back on the 13th of April. It will end on midnight, Friday, May 22nd. Then over the weekend, we'll draw the 3 winning names. And then on the 25th of May, we'll announce the 3 big winners. But head over to computeramerica.com, enter in all of our contests. They're a lot of fun to play. You'll have a lot of fun doing it. And who knows, you might win something, really, really nice. Okay. Okay, well, I think that's anything else you want to mention before we get started on the news?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, let's do it then. Tonight's Computer and Technology News is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. Download them all. Why not? They're free. And use them. You'll be very happy that you did, and you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. And you want to take the first story? You've been doing that for the past few times. Why don't you do it?
Yeah, no. I really want to do the story on that I was just talking about before I ran headfirst into the break, which was the Google Fi.
Okay, let's do it.
Google Fi. It's let's see. Google Fi is Google's new service that they just announced today. It's their let's see. Google wants to be your wireless carrier. Popular Science is the one that I'm kind of pulling from right now.
Yep.
But it would apparently let phones jump between Wi-Fi and 4G. So Google's been many things to many people, but apparently they're branching out into a mobile phone carrier using the codename Project Fi. As many of you know, Google tends to be a little bit of everything and seeing what sticks. They like to be your self-driving car solution. They like to be your search engine. They even like to be your internet service. Like they're into everything.
Right.
So this latest one, they want to push a new kind of service where it would be a separate wireless carrier from T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, all those things. It would be a completely different service that you would sign up for, and apparently, it would choose up from 3 possible networks that just like the other carriers use, and it will always select the fastest one, hopefully giving you the fastest connection, and it will even encrypt your connection to Wi-Fi hotspots using a VPN to help evade snooping by others. So it has some nice security built into it as well, baked into it. And also, there are two other major selling points for the Project Fi. Oh, by the way, I always forget this. Google wants to be your wireless carrier. Name of the article: Dan Morin. Popular Science. Don't want to step on any toes here, but yeah. So they also want to have free international data.
Mhm.
If you remember, sometimes people get in trouble and they get those $14,000 phone bills. Free international data without roaming charges in more than 120 countries. Although it's at 3G, but hey, I think we'll live.
Uh-huh.
And unlike most other carriers, Google will only end up charging you for the amount of data you actually use, offering a credit for unused data on your following month's bill. And I think that's a really cool point there, where if you go to any other wireless carrier, you get, let's say, 10 gigs a month
Okay.
of wireless data.
Typical.
And if you don't use 10 gigs a month, good. You get no overage charges, and next month you get 10 gigs again.
I thought they roll. Don't they? Doesn't AT&T roll it over? I've seen some.
No, they do not roll over anymore. That they used to when data wasn't that big a deal, but not anymore. They do not roll over. But so let's say you have your 10 gigs, but let's say you go over. You go over by a gig or whatever. You'd have to pay overage charges on that. Where Google, they give you a flat rate for data. It doesn't matter if it's 1 gigabit or your 100th gig. It doesn't matter. They'll pay you the same flat rate for your data, but then let's say you only use one, and your monthly bill gives you an allowance up to 5. They'll credit 4 gigs of data back to your phone. So you're not actually paying for the data that you haven't used.
Okay. All right.
Great selling point, I think.
I think I don't know which I would rather have. Would you rather having rollover or just getting?
Again, there is no rollover.
I thought that I got to Google that and look it up, because I could sworn that one of the things that they were promoting on a recent AT&T ad that I watched was that they had rollover minutes.
At any rate, and I'm pretty sure they don't. At any rate, I'm sure you have to pay even more for that one. And personally, I would prefer the one that would only charge you for the amount of data you use. It doesn't matter if you use 100 gigs of data. It doesn't matter if you use 1 gig of data. They charge you for what you use. That sounds like an ideal solution to data usage. Personally, charging you for what you use. It's out there, but I'm hoping it goes well. So, but the article says here, before you jump ship.
Hold on. Here it is. I'm on the AT&T website. AT&T mobile share value plans now with rollover data. What you get, rollover data. The data you don't use this month rolls over to the next 3 months. To the next month, excuse me. Rollover data. That's it. So that's what they do give you rollover data.
I'm sure there's small print in there. You said 3 months. I'm sure it only accumulates up to 3 months.
It wasn't 3 months. That was a footnote. I'm sorry. Mobile share plan customers will automatically get rollover data on the network with the nation's strongest LTE signal. We're proud to offer rollover data to our new and current mobile share value customers. With rollover data, unused plan data rolls over for 1 month. What's more, if you're on a mobile share value plan, you don't even have to do anything to get it. It just automatically.
That's why I like Google's better. It's because it only rolls over for 1 month. Let's say you have 5, and then the next month you have 5. The following month you don't get 10 extra data rollover. You just get 5 rolled over. Okay. You lose 5 gigs of data right there.
Okay.
Whereas with Google's, you only pay for 5.
Okay.
So clearly, Google has a better plan. I'm not even going to argue this one with you. Google, the idea that Google has is better.
All right, but the point is it going to be available?
No. Well. Let's read on. Before you jump to Google's offering, however, there are a couple of things you should know. For one, it's currently an only invite. It's currently an invite-only basis. Yeah. So, and it's only available for Google Nexus 6 phone. Okay. The Google Nexus, of course, runs on Android. Android, of course, parent company or a sister company of Google. Google helps run Android. Okay. So, obviously, if you like the idea of Google Fi, it's probably not going to be coming to iPhones anytime soon.
Well, and Google always works that way. I mean, when Gmail came, it was invitation only. Most every Google service starts off by invitation only, and it's very limited. And then they're putting their big Google toe in the water is what they're doing, and they want to see what kind of reaction they get. And if they get a good reaction, then they'll continue on. And if they go, it's a big giant ho hum, then they pull out. So they're testing it. So that makes sense. Okay. Go on.
Yeah, they're testing it on a very specific phone, but I like the idea. I mean, I've obviously I think everyone in the tech world loves what Google Fiber is doing.
Sure.
And they've obviously love what they're doing with their self-driving cars. They love really a lot of what Google's doing. So hopefully this has positive effects on the market in general. Because right now, let's face it, cell phone carriers, there's 4 big ones, and then there's numerous little tiny ones, but 4 big ones, really, how much competition is that? So,
yeah. Okay, makes sense. All right. Well, anything more to this article?
Anything more to this article? No, that's really just it. It's just if you have a Google Nexus phone, 6 phone, hey, keep an eye on it. Ask your friends for invitations, and let's see where it goes.
Well, I guess in the spirit of talking about Wi-Fi and wireless, evidently there's some people out there who really don't like Apple, I guess. Because according to this story here from The Guardian, somebody created a Wi-Fi hack that literally creates a no iOS zone. And what is that? Basically, it cripples iPhones and iPads. And according to them, the only solution for this is for the Apple users to leave the affected area immediately. Okay, so this is evidently a newly released bug in iOS lets attackers force iPhones and iPads to restart loops, repeatedly crashing and rebooting using nothing but a Wi-Fi network. I hadn't heard about that. Okay, but they're calling it the no iOS zone. The no ISO, you get it? Anyway, there's no way to.
I get it.
There's no way to fix their phone other than leaving the area. Good grief. Okay. Without getting into the details exactly how it works, but basically what it's doing is it's taking of this exploit that's in Apple's latest iOS. Now, according to the story, also in addition to crashing individual apps, the bug can be used to crash the underlying operating system as well. With heavy use of devices exposed to the vulnerability, the operating system crashes. Even worse, under certain conditions, they manage to get devices into a repeatable reboot cycle, rendering them completely useless. So even if victims understand that the attack comes from a Wi-Fi network, they can't disable the Wi-Fi interface because it's starting over and over. You can't get into the system app, because before you can get to that, it starts up again. So you really are in a world of hurt. And the only way, again, to get out of it is to leave the area, and then go into your system app, and then
you have to run.
Yeah, literally run, iPhone run. Now the article goes on to further says, if they combine this with an earlier vulnerability named Wi-Fi Gate, why do they always put the word gate on? It makes it sound like it's something.
Because I think the editors in charge of these news stories, I think Watergate is still a prevalent enough event in their minds that if you throw a gate on it, all of a sudden people realize, scandal.
Yeah, exactly. It says that. I guess it's part of it's in the language. It's in our language.
It's part of the lexicon.
Yes, it is. Put the word gate at the end of it. It's it. Anyway, what was it with Steve Jobs? They used gate. They had the iPhone, the gate, iPhone gate. What was it? They when you held the iPhone funny.
That was antenna gate, not iPhone gate.
Antenna gate. Yes, exactly. Anyway, this Wi-Fi gate, which lets attackers force the device to automatically connect to a given Wi-Fi network. Skycure warns that an attack could be crafted which would deny service to any iOS attack in a given area. Hmm. He said, and the results basically would be catastrophic.
He used that word, catastrophic.
Yes, they did. Now, evidently, they've warned Apple about this error, and they're refraining from releasing technical details about it until after Apple fixes it. But of course, Apple did not respond to a comment request ahead of publication for this article in The Guardian. But I am sure they're going to do something about it. Would be so not. Yeah, exactly. So, but there it is. So basically, I don't know how prevalent this is, but the point is, if you do find yourself your iPhone booting over and over and over again, you at least you'll have heard us talk about it, and you need to get the heck out of the area that you're in because you're in this deadly loop for your iPhone, and the only way to make it stop is to leave the area.
Yeah, it's just a geo thing. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Although I can't really imagine this being too prevalent, out in the wild.
Well, no, I guess not.
So yeah. Let's see. Next story. Ooh. Oh, by the way, Happy Earth Day. By the way.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day to you.
To Gaia, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, today was Earth Day, and as Google has their little Google Doodle up, of course, and there's a lot of things about climate change, that kind of thing. But here's one that even you can do without really doing all that much, but it's going to help, and it comes from the nice, kind people over at Philips. Not really going to get too into this because we've gotten into the subject for a while now, but it's a turning point.
Light bulb?
Yeah, Philips' newest LED. It's a $5 bulb.
Now you see that I kept saying. I said the most expensive bulbs right now. First it was the compact flash, and then it's the LEDs, but I said the price is going to keep coming down. And now they've got an LED bulb that's for $4.97. But they say
I think that you can get two for that price.
Wow, that's even better. But they say that it's not. They're billing it as not being dimmable. But they said it will work with some dimmers. But it's not a dimmable bulb, which is sad because most everybody has dimmers today. But if you don't have a dimmer, this would be because
really dimmers are kind of not really a luxury, but hey, they're a preference thing. Some people have switches, and if you just have a switch, this thing's gonna work fine for you.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, exactly.
So we've been talking about it a lot on the show. LEDs, they use, it wasn't too long ago before they were $30 a bulb, and then they came down to $10, and like there was a big hubbub when they came down under 10 because people were like, oh, they're still very, very expensive compared to incandescent, but $10 isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Now I think we've reached $5.
Well, people, you have to understand because they said, oh, it's expensive, but in the long run, the LED bulb is still cheaper because it's going to last a heck of a lot longer than those incandescent bulbs. So I mean that's the whole idea behind these technologies, that they last 10, 15 years, 20 years or longer. So
and they last a very, very long time compared to other levels that we've seen. I mean, let's face it, you could put all brand new LED light bulbs in, and let's say you live in a house for 10 years, you may never have to change a light bulb in that house ever again.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't have to.
They can last that long. So yeah, no, they apparently they're available at off the shelf at Home Depot.
Oh, and you're right. It's two bulbs for the price of one at Home Depot. Yeah, only for the first 90 days.
Only for the first 90 days, and it's kind of cool that they announced this on Earth Day because of course they're very energy efficient compared to the other one. It draws about 8.5 watts and has about 800 lumens. Not the brightest I've ever seen, but still plenty enough for a light bulb.
Well, it's a 60 watt equivalent bulb. That's the idea. You're getting 60 watts of light, but it's only using a fraction of that. That means your electric bill is going to be way, way down, and you can leave these things on. Basically, it's it's only drawing 8.5 watts, but it's giving you an equivalent of 60 watt light of illumination. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's yeah, and again, it's a what was it? A 60-watt equivalent bulb,
Right.
not a 60-watt bulb.
No, it's 8.5 watts, but you get 60 watts worth of light is what it is. And Philips is giving the bulb a 10-year lifespan, which is notably shorter than most other LEDs, which usually promise to last well over 20 years. So this,
But hey, for $5, 10-year lifespan, I think they obviously sacrificed something in terms of lifespan to get that price point down.
Mm.
But hey, yeah, it's such an important price point. I think people won't mind the trade-off to get it.
yeah, I think so.
So yeah, no, 2-for-1, and they have a chart here with all the different ones and all the different prices. Apparently, it's going to cost you about, in a year's worth of energy cost, it's going to cost you about $1.02
Now,
to power this thing.
that's not bad. The Kelvin is interesting too. The Kelvin, which is really another word for color temperature, is 2700 Kelvin. 2700 Kelvin is like it's like an incandescent. It has a yellowish kind of a tinge to it, a little bit of a yellowish tinge, which is a typical of an incandescent bulb. 5000 K is pure white. Let's put it that way. 2700 K is more like an average light bulb. So this is giving you average dimmable light, and again, it's price. Now all the other ones that they compare it to, like the Cree for Flow LED, the IKEA LED, the Philips Slim Style, and the Osram replacement LED, they're all dimmable. Everyone except, but the Philips is not, and you're getting the half the life, because the life they're rating it 11,000 hours. Okay, whereas the other bulbs that I mentioned are all 25,000 hours. But still, Ben points out it's still a heck of a bargain, and certainly something that you might want to check into.
It's getting light bulbs in the hands of those that really they didn't really have an interest in them before when they were that expensive, because hey, why bother getting them when you could just get incandescent, and sure, it's a little bit more expensive in the long run, it's less energy efficient, that kind of thing, but hey, it's cheaper in the immediate, go ahead. But the closer you get to the immediate purchase going down, I think the more people are going to kind of pick up the two, hold them in their hands and say, which one should I get? And at $5, that's the conversation people are going to start having with themselves.
Yep. Okay.
So keep an eye out. Again, that's at Home Depot, but hey, if one company does it, I'm sure the others aren't far behind either.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you'll probably see it more happening. And you know what? It's the old competition. As the other companies see this is Philips doing it, they're going to have to do it too. But I hope they don't all sacrifice it with the bulb life. By cutting the bulb life in half. I'd rather have 25,000 than 10 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a trade-off, but I think it's a short-term trade-off. Like, I'm sure the second or third generation of these bulbs, the lifespan is going to increase. They didn't cut this for the sake of cutting it. They cut it to, reduce the cost. So I'm sure the future generations will, of course, be longer lived.
Okay. All right. Well, here's an interesting story, and it's going to carry us over to the next half.
Read it.
I'm sorry.
Don't, as in like verbatim.
I'm not. I haven't been reading
Okay.
Basically, YouTube is going to stop working on a lot of the devices you may already have, like iPads, these smart TVs that you have, older Apple TVs.
That's a dire prediction.
Yeah. I mean, basically, they're saying goodbye to its past. YouTube is basically saying goodbye to its past, and many of the devices that used to work with it. I mean, if you have a first generation iPad, anything older than an iPhone 4, a second generation Apple TV or older, your device's built-in YouTube app is soon going to stop working. When did they say it's going to stop working? I don't think you have a date here.
Well, I'm sure as soon as they switch over to whichever new platform that they're switching to.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's Google, because they own YouTube. They announced late Monday that version 2 of YouTube's data application programming interface, that's their API, would stop working, on Monday, April the 20th. Guess what? This came out yesterday, and they're saying basically it's already stopped working, folks.
So this isn't much of a warning so much as at this point an explanation.
So if you've been banging your smart TV on the side, what's wrong? Why can't I get I need to take this for service. Don't take it in for service. It's not your device's fault. Basically, they're not working with what you got. These older devices, the many of the older YouTube apps, the ones that were built in, are just going to stop working. Other affected devices include select smart TVs and Blu-ray disc players, older game consoles. It's not going to work. And anyone running Google TV version 2 or older. Who uses Google TV? Anyone?
Lots of people use Google TV.
Anyone with Google TV version 3 or 4 can just upgrade their YouTube app in Google Play. Okay, that's it. So how is this going to impact you? Well, only you know, because you're the one who knows what devices you have, right? But as of Tuesday morning, the original YouTube app was still working on first generations, according to this story. iPad running OS 5.1.1 we're still working. According to a YouTube blog post, version 2 will continue working for a few weeks. Yeah, so basically, it's not a line, and they're not drawing a line in the sand. They're being a little flexible, but just know that it's coming. Okay, that they're going to stop working with your old device. Now, what can you do about it? Well, not much, according to this story. If you have an older iOS device, you'll still be able to get your YouTube fixed by using Google's mobile site. That's the older Apple TVs will have no way to watch YouTube once the app goes dark. That's it. You're out of luck. And the same goes for Google TV version 2 or older. That's it. Google's migration away from YouTube's data API. This all happened like a year ago. So this isn't a big surprise. You kind of knew it was coming. And that's about it. Basically, your device is going to go dark with these YouTube devices. You're going to have to go out and buy something new. There you go. That's bottom line.
Or hey, you could always get a Chromecast. I'm pretty sure that works with YouTube pretty well.
Yeah, that still works. I love the Chromecast. All right, you listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, the IRN Radio Network, the TuneIn Radio Network. We're going to continue on with more computer technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. We'll be right back. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
You found me. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Ryobi P430G Buffer Polisher. Maintain, repair, and replace are the three choices we face all over the place in any workspace. So we got an Ryobi P430G 6-inch buffer polisher for review. It uses their new OnePlus 18-volt battery system. When office furniture, from desks to conference room tables, start looking haggard, it's often enough to clean, apply some polish, and buff. And the faster that's over and done with, the more productive the rest of the day can be. This tool's extremely well-balanced rotating metal platter has a foam head affixed over which you tie a soft cloth bonnet to come with it. It has just one speed, roughly 4,000 RPM. Bottom line, the Ryobi P430G buffer polisher can add or restore a shine with reduced amounts of elbow grease. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are doing computer technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities. And let's see. We are, right in the thick of it. Craig just finished up his story about how YouTube will stop working on a lot of devices. So apparently they've sent out many a warning. I'm sure if you have a Google account tied to it, or at least a Gmail account, you have been notified. Doesn't seem like something they just kind of, pull a backhanded update on. So hopefully you're prepared for that.
What I was surprised? You didn't pick this story here about they have an Intel Compute Stick review.
Yeah, no, I kind of threw that one out because it was kind of long, and we just had Intel on the show to talk about it. Nice. So I figured, hey, we got pretty much as much information as any review is going to have, just without the personal spin.
Okay, good enough.
So, yeah, no. But we're doing computer technology news, and this next one I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of poke around. This one from CNET, IES Akhtar and Akhtar, and we apparently know what's going to come on and go off of Netflix this next month.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be fun just to kind of pick out and see what we're excited about is going to be coming out on Netflix. Because Netflix, obviously not a sponsor, but we love them. They're such a great service for the value that you're spending. I've never really heard anyone kind of say, "Oh, Netflix, oh, I hate them." No one hates Netflix anymore.
But you told me a good piece of Netflix news. Guess what got renewed?
Oh no, didn't get renewed. It got because it was never canceled. They just pushed out the whole season 1 of Daredevil recently.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, then you haven't been on Netflix because they're pushing that thing like crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, they are Daredevil just recently got approved, greenlit for a season 2. Excellent. Like a week after it was released. So that's obviously the numbers are very good.
Yeah, exactly. I told you.
And the reviews are really good too.
I binge watched it. I watched it. I saw the whole thing in 2-3 days, I think, at tops. It was, but it was. Once I started watching, I really couldn't stop watching. It was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. So, I highly recommend it. It was such a turnabout for the movie. Let's face it, the movie was lackluster. But
yeah, the movie was like, oh, he's blind. Oh, he can see with the rain. That's kind of cool. But yeah, no, it was weird. And but I hear good things. I haven't seen the television show, but I hear good things.
Yeah, you should see it. You should watch it. It's really good.
Especially if you like Arrow. Apparently, the two audiences intersected nicely. So
I watched Arrow, but I think Arrow actually appeals to a different audience. I wouldn't agree with you there. I think Daredevil appeals to a different audience, but a more adult audience. But I think it's really good.
okay. So no, but yeah. So new arrivals for Netflix starting in May. Legally Blonde, my personal favorite. Craig, I'm assuming you have the list as well.
Yes, I did.
Oh, and by the way, really, these are kind of our favorites. You can see all of them out there. If you didn't know, a lot of browsers actually have add-ons that you can have for your browser to show, Netflix ratings, Netflix reviews, Netflix coming and going dates. Like, there's a lot of additional information you can get out there involving Netflix. So, don't be afraid to go out and look for information, because Netflix love them sorely, or they are sorely lacking a soon to be here and leaving like a queue. Like, you can't go to Netflix.com and find, oh, this is what's coming up, or hey, this is what's going away. They just don't have the information, but they do have it available at other sources. So,
You would think that they would offer that on Netflix.
You would think so.
Yeah, that's actually because I would be more inclined to watch something if I knew that it was going to go away, in a few weeks or a week or two. I would be more inclined to watch it because I knew that if I don't watch it now, I'm not going to get to see it again, rather than being totally in the dark and and say, oh, gee, I wanted to watch that, and now it's no longer there. I think, you agree?
No, I'm surprised that they don't have something along those lines. It seems like such a natural fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, going on with the story, Legally Blonde, awesome. Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonder, or Blonde, awesomer, perfect.
These are new arrivals, right? That are coming.
These are all new arrivals. Those were released back in like 2000. But hey, you can't really be picky on what you get. So, so new Legally Blonde. Apparently, D.L. Hughley. Ooh, a new stand-up special, Royal Pains, season 6 coming along. Puss in Boots television show from DreamWorks. Yeah. So that's pretty cool too.
We watch. Your mom and I watch Royal Pains. We actually like that. It's a good one.
Yep. Counting Cars, reality show, whole new collection. Duck Dynasty, Hoarders, Modern Marvels, the Universe, awesome. Anthony Bourdain, love it. Dogfight, Give Me Shelter. Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Never Beast, awesome. Zombievers. Yes, that sounds. I will be sorely disappointed if that is anything less than Zombie Beavers. So that's coming, by the way, on May 19th. So keep an eye out for Zombievers.
Yeah,
it's spelled just like you think it is.
I watched some of the series, the first season 1 of The Transporter. I think I'm sorry, but when you take what's his name out, the actor, what's his
what was his name?
Take him out. It was too blunt.
It wasn't Jason Statham, was it?
Yeah, Jason Statham. Yes, exactly. Take him out. The Jason Statham was the epitome of the transporter. I didn't like the TV series. Okay.
Yeah, no, the television series though, it was all action, so that was pretty cool. Let's see, May 20th, Graceland season 1 and 2, Before I Go to Sleep, Mako Mermaids, and apparently leaving on May 1st. They have a lot of them.
Yeah.
A Knight's Tale, leaving May 1st. Very good one. Airplane and Airplane 2, leaving. I remember when Airplane just came back on Netflix. That was big news.
Yep.
But apparently it's leaving in about 9 days.
Are they leaving because of contractual agreements, or Netflix just?
They have them for contracts, because hey, if because like if you renew the stock, like Airplanes has been out since like 78 or something like that.
Exactly.
If you have it available for like 3 months out of the year, then as soon as it comes back on, you're going to see a spike in viewership. But then after 3 months, it's going to kind of, go away, because people are used to it being there. They've seen it if they want to see it, and then they are not watching anymore. So it doesn't really make sense to pay for it if no one's watching it. So they it'll be around again in, like, let's say a year's time, but it doesn't make sense to keep paying for it, because, it's better to come in waves of content.
Okay.
So let's see, Boys Don't Cry, Deuces Wild,
Skyfall. Skyfall is the big one.
Yeah, Skyfall is going away, right?
Right, and that was a
Skyfall's going away. RoboCop.
Well, the original one.
The original 1987 RoboCop is going away as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Flight, The Princess Diaries, Skyfall, May 5th, like Craig said. Grim Snow White, 2012, is going away May 12th. Full Metal Alchemist, what? No, whatever. Anyways, Dane Cook, that can go. Red Dawn, Silent House, The New Guy, and The Haunting in Connecticut 2. If you are a huge The Haunting in Connecticut 2 fan, unfortunately, that's going away at the end of next month. So catch it while you can. I was not a huge Dane Cook fan.
That was your brother?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, no. All these can be found online if you go and look for it. I'm sure you can find it. But yeah, they're refreshing their stock, so be on the lookout for new content.
Okay. Well, there it is. And I still think you're right. I think they should have some sort of mechanism on Netflix itself saying what's coming and what's going.
I mean, a lot of people use this kind of service where they're looking for, hey, what's coming, what's going, just as see what's up. But hey, there's really no way to see it in app.
Yeah.
Although this is related but unrelated. A couple days ago, they said that Netflix is looking for new markets in 2015, and there will be an entire user interface. User interface update in 2015.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that. So hey, maybe it might come in the new user interface update.
Maybe. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, Ben.
Go for it.
What do you think the major key to glare-free phone displays is?
I want to say butterfly wings, but I'm going to go with spit shine.
No, butterfly wings. Yeah, butterflies. Have proven to be a surprising source for inspiration for technology. But evidently, some German researchers have discovered that the irregular nanoscopic structures on the glasswing butterfly's transparent wings eliminate most reflections at any angle. Right now, they use polarized lenses now to get rid of the glare. The problem with polarized lenses, though, is that if you're wearing polarized sunglasses, and what you wind up doing is that you have double polarization. You look at the screen, you can't see it; it's blank. Did you know that?
No, that sounds hilarious, though.
Yeah. If you're wearing polarized lenses and you look at a polarized screen on a smartphone or on a card navigator, now they've made some corrections because you have horizontal and vertical polarization, and so what they'll do is, in anticipation of that, they'll change. They're trying to get an agreement between the industry to make the polarization all the same, either horizontal or vertical. So when you because if you have vertical polarization and you look at a vertical screen, it won't blank it out. The problem is that if you have the horizontal one, then you get the blank out of it.
Yeah, let's see how industry standardization goes, because that's notoriously easy to do.
Yeah, not very. Right. Anyway, the scientists have yet to completely recreate the surface in the lab, but they're foreseeing a future where you're not struggling to read your smartphone outdoors. And there's a kicker to this. Evidently, prototypes are already self-cleaning and water repellent, so you won't need extra coatings to keep your screens largely smudge-free. I've seen your iPhone; it's really smudged, and so is mine's not quite as bad. But
I have a screen protector.
Oh, maybe that's why it looks smudged. Okay.
What?
The screen protector is smudged.
Fine.
Okay.
I have it right here. It's not that smudged.
It's not that smudged. Okay.
It's fine.
Well, you use it a lot, so it's fine. So
I do have smudgy fingers, if that's what you're implying.
Could be. Anyway, butterfly wings. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Butterfly.
not good. Hopefully not the butterflies who now have to go wingless. They're just caterpillars now.
No, they won't pluck the wings with them. They're nothing.
Sure they will. They're scientists, not ethicists.
Anyway, what else we got?
What else we got? We got 1 second. Someone liked a picture. Man charged with allegedly shooting computer with a gun. Yeah, let's talk about this one. This one was a link from someone in the chat room. By the way, we still have the chat room. It's an IRC chat room. You can always go in there, and while we do news like this and stuff like that, you can ask us questions. You can send us stories and things like that. We'll talk about it on the air. This is kind of, it's kind of like our unwind and relax time. So,
Okay.
Steer the conversation where you wish. But yeah, no. So he looked at this one from a CNET article. Chris Matty Cizik.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
easy to say.
What?
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I know. So, technically incorrect offers a slightly twisted take on the tech, and apparently that's the segment that this is coming from. And apparently, the computer was severely wounded. Not clear if it will survive.
He was just fed up with his Dell computer. He was so fed up with it, he couldn't take it anymore, and he shot it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He shot it 7 times.
Well, was it with a shotgun or was it with a handgun? Because that looks like a shotgun spread.
No, that's their individual bullets.
I don't know. That looks like a shotgun spread, but okay. So yeah, he apparently took his Dell XPS 4. Oh, well, there's your problem. Not only is it a Dell, but it's a Dell XPS 410. Those things are pretty old.
And he fired 8 bullets into it. See, 8 bullets. So he used it wasn't a shotgun blast.
Okay. So it was a handgun, and I'm sure we have all had those days where the computer just isn't working right, or
You don't shoot it.
But hey, this gentleman said, "Hey, you know what I could do? I could shoot it," and he did. He took out a back and he shot it.
Did he get arrested?
I don't see why he would. I mean, if it was his property, land-wise, computer-wise, gun-wise, and all.
Well, if he lived in a city or something where they had no handguns or something, then it would be.
Well, no, there's no. Apparently, this was found on a blog post, not so much. This wasn't a crime reported by the local police. So we're gonna assume, for the sake of the story, that he did this completely legit.
Yeah. So he didn't. The reporter evidently didn't get didn't get that guy's side of the story. He contacted him. Oh, he contacted the police. He was in Colorado Springs. Okay, well, they have liberal gun laws there. To ask if if he was inquiring into the health of the computer, but evidently the police were not forthcoming to let him know. And, yeah, exactly.
That does not bode well. We'll let Dell know that one of their computers has crashed and died.
But he does go on to say that there's always another computer out there for you. Sometimes, though, it just takes time to find the right one for you. It sounds like a dating site.
Yeah, that sounds like a happy ending, if there ever was one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he didn't get arrested. He just, I think maybe some people stood up and applauded. I don't know. But they did. There was a police report. If there was a police report, I guess they heard shots fired. But I guess in Colorado Springs, you can discharge a handgun in the city limits and not be arrested.
Oh, that's comforting.
I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't know the gun laws in Colorado Springs.
So we will not comment on them. But yeah, Blue Screen of Death has just turned into a firing line of death.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait, he was cited for firing a firearm within the city limits. So apparently, yes, he was cited.
He was cited. Probably
yes. Well, obviously he was cited. I mean, he was able to clearly see that.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. Okay.
Get excited?
Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay. Here's one from Popular Science that I think is kind of interesting. A device that helps check your vitals by using Wi-Fi. Okay. Wi-Fi is usually the method that you use to connect computer devices to the internet. But evidently, they found a radar-inspired system could make health monitoring devices obsolete. Right. Yeah, exactly. This comes from a team of researchers at MIT, and they want to be able to gather data more seamlessly by enabling our Wi-Fi devices to monitor our heart and breathing rate with no gadgets required. None. No gadgets. How does that work?
That's spooky.
It's called Vital Radio. And evidently, according to them, it works very similar to how radar works. The Wi-Fi router puts out a signal that bounces off all the people and objects in the vicinity. And based on how quickly the signal comes back, the system uses an algorithm to distinguish between an inanimate object and a person, as well as distinguishing between people and their individual body parts. So get this. It can track breathing through the tiny movements as the chest rises and falls, and the pulsating movements of the neck as our heartbeats, indicating our heart rate. In other words, it's actually taking it from the carotid artery in your neck. It can sense the movement there. That's pretty incredible.
That's accurate, but that's also, like I said earlier, scary. That's the robots are going to know if we're alive.
Well, how else are they going to know? Right? Exactly. Now, they say it's not perfect. It says Vital Radio can't pick up such minute physical changes when someone is walking, but at home or in a hospital, where you're basically sedentary, according to them, it's extremely accurate. And they when they tried the system on 14 test subjects outfitted with heart and breathing monitor devices for comparison. So they wanted to see how close it was to. So the cool thing about this is you don't need to have, the strap around your body or the thing around your wrist. You just go about your day-to-day actions in your home, and it'll monitor you. Now, what's the frequency of radar? I mean, it's not microwave, so it's not going to cook you, is it? I don't think so. It's using existing Wi-Fi, so it's proven safe.
Oh, that was our silly comment of the day.
Well, it could. Now, it goes on to say that this kind of information can be helpful for those who aren't just simply interested in their biodata for fun. It's a serious device, and it can be used, for monitoring a baby's breathing, a wireless keeping track of a patient's vitals in a hospital. It can even detect a person's mood when they're at home, modifying the environment to increase comfort. I think this is pretty, and again, all without external attachments. Basically, you just go about doing your business, and this device monitors your health, which I think is cool. Yeah.
You think maybe the guy who shot his computer took it into like Geek Squad and was like, "There's something wrong with my computer."
I think he needed one of these vital monitoring devices.
No, I like really. How many opportunities do you have to have a shot computer and just say, take it into the guys over at some repair shop and say, yeah, it's shot. I don't know what to do with it.
Can you imagine being the guy at Geek Squad who takes this thing and it's got bullet holes in it?
Like I would just I wouldn't even open the case. I'd spin around and point at the bullet holes and there's your problem right there. See, your hard drive crashed into your graphics card, which then destroyed your motherboard because of the bullet that came through it.
They went through it and out on the other end, exactly. And that'll be $75, thank you. And then duck. I would actually.
For some reason, I'm getting this whole CSI, scene in my head with the Geek Squad all in uniform is they're walking around. It's so tell me what happened, Grisham or whatever his name is. And it's oh yeah, computer shot 8 times. Whatever. No, but yeah, vitals, Wi-Fi, that thing. I mean, medical technology, getting back on to the story that that Craig was just talking about, medical technology is going to advance at such a fast rate that, what was advanced back in the day, a baby monitor, is going to be, I had to use it, but child's play going forward. It's nice little things like this that are going to be prevalent.
Yeah. I'm still trying to envision the guy walking into Geek Squad and saying, "My computer doesn't work. Can you figure out what's wrong?"
Oh, I'd do it.
You would. Gosh.
Although he might have had better results if he did that before shooting it. But hey, to each their own.
We had a couple other interesting stories, but we don't have time really to do it. I like this one about Tesla isn't an automaker; it's a battery company.
Yes, we've known that for a while. They want to put not only batteries in cars and have them be electric cars, but they also want to put batteries in homes because they just opened up that huge new battery production plant, or they started construction on it, and they want to make more high density batteries than all the other companies combined in this one facility. Like
But-
they want to make a lot of batteries for a lot of uses besides cars.
But Elon Musk remember he was being coy about it. He said they were saying, oh, they're going to have something for your home, but he wouldn't say what it was. Has they come out and said what it was?
Yep. They came out and said it was batteries for your home.
That is, it's going to it's going to replace
In place of a generator, in place of like a gas generator, you would have a solar battery pack.
That would be very cool. Any word on pricing or anything about that yet?
No, but I'm pretty sure if it's Tesla, they're probably going to have some kind of plan that you sign up for.
I mean, that's the one objection with gas generators, and we have one out here too, and it runs on natural gas. But still, which is better because of those you have to pour fuel into them. That's at least the generator we have here. It's hooked up to natural gas. Remember that we had a hurricane. We were the only house in the area that had power. But
oh, how we laughed and danced!
Now, people were throwing power cords over the fence, asking if they could borrow some of our power. But again, they're noisy. They're incredibly noisy and loud. Something like this, battery power is silent. There's no noise. I mean, you can tell if somebody's has a generator down the block. You can hear it. These make no noise.
Well, like it's also for the whole noise and that kind of crap, but it's mainly for, let's say, during peak times when you don't, or like when the power company has to charge you a lot, it would expend the battery's energy, and then when energy prices aren't that much, the batteries would cut back, and then you would buy electricity from the electric company. It would even out your electricity, so you're not paying as much. It's evening out the grid because as everyone knows, around 5 or 6 in the afternoon when everyone's getting home and they're turning on their TVs and cooking dinner, electricity shoots up in price and in scarcity. So they want to even it out. That's his goal.
Well, that about wraps up the show. Thank you all so much for being with us here. Tomorrow night, we're going to have 2 guests. In the first hour, we're going to have a company called Go. Get this. It's the world's first safe map. It's this. You can see the safest places to walk, to run, to bike, and drive with the Go Safe map. This is going to be very cool because, I mean, you want to be safe, right? And this is going to show you how to do that. And then the second hour, a company called Vericred. We're going to have the CEO of Vericred talking about healthcare and using digital solutions to facilitate credentialing and the enrollment process. So
we promise it's more interesting than it sounds.
Yeah, I'm sure. Exactly. So again, I want to thank again our first hour guest, Peggy Manco from Spark Gift. Very interesting. And thank you all for being with us here on tonight's show. Ben and I will be here tomorrow night, and hopefully you will be here too. So until tomorrow,
with a whole new website.
So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching us on our live video stream. And yes, the website is going to continue to improve. And we'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same station. Good night, everybody. Say good night, Ben.
I did. Good night.
Good night.